From the glide position, come up following the line of the body, turn at around about the level of the sternum, and up until here it's just the lower part of the arm that's moved. The upper part hasn't done anything. So just the lower arm till you get to here, and then you break streamlining to bring your hands up and forwards. And there's two options here that I talked about with some of you. One is to go into the glide position, which you would do in the pool 100% of the time. And the other is to go straight into the catch, where you come up and then just twist your hands to start the arm stroke. And you do this on the way down because you're combating positive buoyancy and you have to swim continuously, and for most of the ascent on the way up. So you just recover and twist the hands to go straight into the catch. Then you're pushing the water out to the sides, but almost straight away bending your elbows so that you come around into about this position here. You're not with your arms outstretched because you can't create as much torque at that distance. So just coming to like a small bend with the hands, and at the level of the head, then your hands start to travel back towards your body inwards, but inwards and down, not like this, because then you're not pushing on the water. At every phase of the arm stroke, you're always leaning on the water. So here, if you see my hand, I'm leaning on it. Even coming in, I'm still pressing it down and in until you get to the level of your chest. Then the hands turn again, and from here again, it's just the lower part of the arm. So here it's a triceps movement that pushes the wrist behind you, and you flip the wrist to push that water behind the body. So the stroke is three-dimensional because you're not just you're not just doing this in line with your body. You're going out to the sides and then in front of your body and pushing back from there behind, which is why you need a distance from you and the bottom of the pool in order to do the stroke properly. And there's acceleration during the stroke. So you start off, don't kind of rip the water apart here, start off gradually, and then whoosh, really accelerate through the end. During this final part of the motion, if you don't have kind of good core engagement, then what will happen is as you push strong here, your body will tend to go into this position. And for some people, they do that and then they do like this dolphin kick, and so it looks like they've kind of planned it all along. And the dolphin kick looks like it's giving them propulsion, when it is, but it's inefficient propulsion. So a dolphin kick will never benefit correct no fins technique. And you can prove that because if you swim no fins with just arms, you can get close to your PB. If you swim no fins with just legs, you can get close to your PB. If you do just a dolphin kick, you won't get half of your PB. So if it doesn't have efficiency by itself, then it doesn't add efficiency to the actual overall stroke. So yeah, if you find yourself doing that, then just remember to engage the core as you're pushing the water past your body, and then all of that effort, that energy, will be transferred into forwards momentum in the direction you want to go. So flick and then relax the arms in this position during the glide, if there is a glide phase here. So that's the arm stroke. Then the leg kick is simpler but more subtle and requires flexibility. So you start by bringing the heel up and twisting the foot outwards and then kicking it out and around. It's like a semicircular motion that's combined with whatever you call that, dorsofrontal rotation, or basically flexing your ankle like a paddle to push at the end. So you finish in this position with your heels and big toes together. And it's quite a powerful, aggressive motion. You don't want to pause here, you want to go straight into the kick. It's similar to the breaststroke kick on the surface, but not quite the same. We don't mind so much an immersion if your knees come forwards. You can demonstrate this sort of diagram or what have you, but basically the idea is that the direction of motion is the same as the plane of the body. And so if you just do like a regular Don't know if any of you swam breaststroke competitively, but like a breaststroke kick is just this. They'll be swimming on the surface just doing this, because all the turbulence is behind the back and they don't want to break the streamlining on the front. For us, we want to distribute the turbulence evenly, and so bringing your knee slightly in front, your heel slightly behind you, and you can kick a little bit wider as well, have a more powerful kick. So then that's the kick and the arm stroke. The timing of the two is that if we start from the hands, you bring your arms up, and as you're bringing your hands up, you start to recover the legs as well, and then kick through this motion of the hands. If you just do this with your arms, then that motion, the mass moving forwards, obviously pushes the rest of your body downwards, right? And so in order to counter, you've already kind of almost stopped at that point in the stroke, because you've been gliding here, then you're recovering and you're kind of coming to a standstill. So if you just do this, then you'll probably go backwards, which is why we do the kick as you bring your hands to that position. You kick through that kind of disruption to your streamlining and kick into this position. In the pool, you'll glide here. In immersion, you'll probably just go straight into the catch and then stroke and glide. So it's basically kick, glide, stroke, glide, kick, glide, stroke, glide. Or if you're in doing a dive and fighting positive buoyancy, or coming up where you're countering negative buoyancy, then it will look more like kick, stroke, glide, kick, stroke, kick, stroke, glide. And even this glide phase at the start isn't really that long. But the glide phase in this position here, it seems to be, even if it's just a fraction of a second, it's helpful, because you can really just let go of everything in that moment. You can just relax your arms, your shoulders, your legs, everything, and just for half a second or a second or so, be relaxed but still traveling through the water. For me, that's one of the most beautiful things about no fins, is that you have this kind of timing of exertion and relaxation. So it's almost like a dance that you do with the water, where you're just kind of, you're flowing through these different states. And that small pause allows you to kind of regroup a little bit before you start the next stroke. Whereas in every other discipline, free immersion, you might get a little bit of a glide, but even though you're gliding, you're still kind of in an outstretched position. It's not 100% relaxed. So you'll pull and glide, but you're gliding like this. And bifins, obviously, you're just kicking the whole time. Monofin, you're kicking the whole time. So it doesn't have that same moments of kind of stillness interspersed in it.